I know this is the first time that a company has sent me stuff to sort of review. It's not going to change my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I'm going to be swayed because they sent me stuff. I'm going to give my honest opinion on these things because you guys know, like, that's how we roll here. So Deco, the accessories, they're like a 10, you know, but with the articulation, yes, I think he's like an 8. What's up, gang? We got an interesting video today because it seems like Mondo wanted another bite of the apple. I'm just kidding. So if you haven't seen, check the link below. We did a video a little bit back where I purchased some Mondo stuff. Well, I shouldn't say I purchased one Mondo thing and another Mondo thing was gifted to me. And because I had never had any Mondo items, I decided good time to like pick one up because I always wanted to see what they were all about. And I reviewed the 12-inch Faker figure and the new vinyl Leo Ninja Turtle that was gifted to me by Matt. Now in that video, I was a bit harsh on the Faker because it wasn't what I wanted out of a $100+ figure. But the Leo turned out to be one of my favorite new lines or offerings. So it was an interesting video to, you know, flip-flop there and see different things that Mondo was offering. Now, it just so happened that someone from Mondo, Peter, their, you know, design director from Mondo, listens to 3POA, also caught the video, and, you know, we had him on 3POA a little bit back, and he was great. He was like, hey man, saw your video. He said, you know, I was kind of spot on with what I talked about, but he said, look, you know, a new team had kind of taken over, and that Faker that I reviewed was an old item before he had gotten there and they started implementing new things. He said, I want to send you some stuff so you can see, like, look, we want another shot at this, but we want like something that is reflective of what we're currently doing now. So Peter graciously sent me the new Faker, and I believe this was an exclusive. Yeah, it's a Mondo exclusive. I forgot maybe which show, or maybe it was a Mondo.com exclusive. I wasn't 100% sure. I have not opened any of these yet. He sent me the new Faker so I can kind of look at this one and then see how it stacked up to the first one. And he also sent me the Ray Fillet from the vinyl line. And this thing is absolutely awesome. I also just pre-ordered the Super Shredder and the remaining 3 turtles that I needed. I am so all in on this vinyl line. So yeah, so thank you, Peter, for sending this. I appreciate Mondo for sending this for me to look at. I know this is the first time that a company has sent me stuff to sort of review. It's not going to change my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I'm going to be swayed because they sent me stuff. I'm going to give my honest opinion on these things because you guys know, like, that's how we roll here. So I am going to save Ray for last, and we're going to look at Faker first. So here he is. I mean, listen, their presentation is absolutely amazing. I have not, again, I only took it out of the shipper box, so I have yet to open this. It's a nice 5th panel on this guy. Save that tissue paper for when Matt starts crying. So yeah, but he's covered in cellophane, so we're gonna have to open him up and take him out. So let's see here. I hope for Peter's sake that this figure stacks up because, you know, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But again, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so again, their presentation, the figures, and the art are amazing. Faker, evil robot of Skeletor, once built as a royal body double for He-Man. He is heroic. This heroic lookalike was retired and forgotten until now. Reanimated by a wicked spell, Faker sprung to life once more. This time, blah, blah. You guys don't want to hear me reading this crap. I do like, we talked about on 3POA, that they do give shout outs to the people that work on this stuff. And, you know, it's good that they do that. I do something similar on the packaging for Action Force, but they name everybody. So, all right, here we go. So I got all the pieces out and they're still wrapped up. So I'm gonna start unwrapping them and get an idea of what we are looking at here. Geez, they wrap these up like imports. Jeez. Now let me take his belt off. And how does this, oh. So if I remember, on the previous one, I think everything was hard to take off. So already that is a plus, that it was so easy. Look at that, he's got the robot printing, like the old figure. Let's see here. The hands are much easier to come off. Okay, okay. All right. Let's get your gauntlets back on here. Wow, he definitely goes together a lot easier than the previous one. So that's already a plus. Let's get his gear on. Oh, gotta take your head back off. I do like the connection system on the back of the vest here. It's just, you know, just tabs that slot in. That's really nice. I don't know if the old one was like that or if they retooled this. This looks like Skeletor's armor. Now, I don't know. I should have had the previous one with me, but I don't believe it's the same secondaries as the previous one. I'm just wondering if that ball joint is, because the ball is really tiny here. It's literally like the size of like a 6-inch figure. So I'm just wondering if that will get loose over time. But the figure, let's see. All right, so still no butterfly joints. So there's that. I do like that. So the old Faker, I'm trying to see if it's the same way for this one. The old Faker was sprayed, the whole thing was sprayed blue, and I'm not a big fan of that. It looks like they use more mold color on him and just oversprays, so he's a little more durable. The fur secondary is nice. I mean, yeah, like so that, yeah, I wish I had the old figure. So this is interesting because you have the bicep swivel here, but then you have a swivel here in the elbow, which is redundant. Again, I don't remember if the other one was like that, but they don't have double elbows, so that's still a bit lacking there. They have double knees, which articulate fantastic. Yeah, no butterflies, like I said. Head joint is the same. These guys would do wonders from a double neck joint, like absolute wonders from a double neck joint. Because right now you're just getting a little bit of that on his neck. His torso is kind of the same. Not too much range, but a little bit. But it's good hand movement. Let me see the face sculpt. I mean, it's good. I'd like to compare it to the previous one, but that's okay. So the feet, and again, this might have been the same on the old one, I just didn't point it out. So when you have rocker ankles, like, yeah, you have the pivot side to side, and then you can point toe like that. But if you want to flex up as well, and this does not flex up because there's no room here for the foot to move that way. If like you're in a running and you squat down like that, you want to like push that foot back there, you know? Yeah. Yeah, the detail on the armor is great. Like all the, you know, the Skeletor bone armor Again, this looks like Skeletor's armor, and I know they've done a bunch of Skeletor figures, so it's probably the same stuff. He's got a couple extra heads. By a couple, I mean 3, which is awesome. Wow. All right, so we have Mean Faker. We have Battle Damage, Slightly Long Hair Faker. And then we have, this is an awesome head. We have Total Robot Faker. Look at that detail. That's a really nice head. Wow. I love it. Jeez, the eyes and they did metallic red on the eyes. That looks awesome. Look at Robot Faker. I think that head's slightly small. Slightly small. But it's nice having all the extra heads. The battle damage one's really cool. I don't know, because my He-Man lore is kind of lacking, how like the battle damage robot head has slightly longer hair. I'm like, when he got battle damage, why did his hair get longer? Like he almost has like a business in the front, party in the back kind of haircut here. I don't know. Also, the shades of hair are all different. Look at that. So you got like bright orange, you got purplish orange, and you got regular orange. Kind of interesting. All right, comes with a few extra hands. So he's got fists there. He's got C-grips here. And he's got the I'm mad at you pointing hand. Okay. Okay. I got a pointing hand in the Action Force line, so I'm not opposed to pointing hands. Let's see what else. He's obviously got his power sword. Very nice. Does he have a...
There we go. Okay.
I don't think he's got a sheath for his power sword, which the previous Faker came with. Oh, I missed some hands. Oh, wow. Wow. The level of detail. Look at the level of detail on these robot hands. Look at that. Now I was talking about mold slides. These needed a lot of mold slides. These are nice. Very nice. All right, he's got this here. Oh. So he's got a forearm that is battle damage. So you can see all the robot options there. Now, the arm should pull off, and this should go on easily, hopefully. Let's see here. Oh, that came off very easy. Okay. Okay. Oh, now I can put a robot hand on. Wow. Okay, so we're getting all banged up robot Faker here. I love the detail on the added parts. That's very impressive. There's a lot of undercuts, so they needed a lot of mold slides here. Very.
So it's basically just Terminator.
Basically Terminator. It's an android. Listen, androids were out way before Terminator. He's got this knife here in the sheath, which the other one didn't come with, and he's got, you know, band here, so I guess this goes on his leg or his boot. That's a pointy knife there. I like it. ABS, so no gummy weapons. Yeah, the power sword is really nice. He's got a big battle axe. I believe this is the same axe as last time. Nice axe. Oh, he's got a ray gun. That's cool, because it looks just like the ones that came with the vintage line. They did a nice weathering on it. Nice dark gunmetal. I like that. I like that. What else does he have? Well, he's got a shield. Big shield. Again, I should have brought the old one out to see if it's what's different on him. But the shield is really nice. Look at all that deco. Jeez, that's a lot of deco. A lot of deco. I would love to see this cost sheet. All right, now these are interesting pieces. So let's move you out of the way here. So he's got new armor. And this is like hard ABS armor that fits over him. All right, so one is full and one is battle damage. And I assume they only give you a front because this, ooh, they're magnets. Oh, that's lovely. That, ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. All right, well, let's put some armor on you here. Let me get the mullet battle damage head. Look at that faker now. He's got his battle damage armor, battle damage arm, busted up face. Okay, okay. So he still comes with this same stand that I do not know what this design was, but even though the design goes on the bottom so you don't see it, because this goes here, and that's one of those stands. Oh, look at these lovely things. This is why I was like, oh, the armor looks a little lacking. I was like, it looks like something's missing, because I forgot these guys fell out. Look at this magnet. Boom! Look at that. So the emblem just attaches to the front with a magnet. That is fancy. And then they also have a battle damaged bat as well. That is really, really nice. That's a nice touch there. Huh. All right, let me give you your C-grip hand here. Give you your power sword. Okay. That faker's very nice. Very nice. Now, what we do have to do is we're going to put him through the ringer here. Because when Peter was on our show, he said that Lion-O could hold his sword in front of him with two hands. Now, I'm going to put Faker to the test to see if he can do it. And I'm going to let him cheat a little bit here. Because I'm going to take off his armor. And let's do it bare-chested here. Okay. Let's see if we could get it. Wouldn't really say that's a passing grade. Now, again, he's like, his elbows are all cocked out to the side. This is where butterfly joints really would make this figure. Butterfly joints and a double neck on this expensive ass figure. Because right now it's like, all right, well, the sword, like, I want to hold, give me an over the head He-Man pose. You know, he's not going to do it. And even this was a little difficult to get in that position. But there is a lot on this figure that is improved from the last one, and a lot just stayed the same. There's nothing, put it this way, there's nothing that got worse. But again, I feel like and I get it, you know, you have this torso tooled up and extra articulation is extra money, but for a, you know, all right, so yeah, so these arms are definitely different arms, but look at the arms. The distance from the bicep to the elbow should almost be as equal as the forearm length. Look at how small that bicep area is. So the proportions on the arms are not correct. That bicep area should. Now, the arm proportion, looking at the figure, the arm proportion is correct because when you outstretch your hand, the tips of your fingers should be midline to the thigh. So he can't bring his hand down all the way, but that's correct. I think the forearm is slightly too long. The bicep area should be a little longer. So the proportions on the arm are a little off there. But yeah, I think that, you know, this torso, you don't really get a crunch back and forth here. You basically just get turning. The crunch, if anything, comes from the lower, but it's not much at all. So detail on this figure is a 10. Accessories are a 10. But articulation's like a 7. And I think that's being a little generous. We're in the golden age of adult collector product. If we're doing a 12-inch figure, you should have unlimited range with this thing. And I just feel that, you know, the articulation in the arms, he should have double elbows, he should have butterflies. Even if you didn't want to do the double neck, fine. But butterflies and double elbows. If you're going to give me double elbows on the legs and not on the arms, that doesn't make sense at all. But, I mean, his stuff's easy to move, easy to play with. You know, you don't want a figure that you feel like you're gonna break by changing out his stuff, and especially an over $100 figure. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I want this to be really awesome. It's almost there. Like, it's almost there. You know, even the Four Horsemen, for years they heard about, you know, no double elbows, double knees. And I think even they're starting to introduce the double elbows on some of their figures. I don't know if they're doing the double knees yet, though. I know at Legion's Con I saw some double elbows. But like this guy, you gotta have a little more. Now I know, like, you know, Peter talked about Mondo, like they're more statuesque, but if they're more statuesque, then why give him double knees? I think you have to, again, if you give double knees, you have to give double elbows. They almost like come in a pair. You have to do it. But again, he's really close to being awesome. I'm very happy with this offering as compared to the old one. So many improvements. But just almost there. Almost there. A little more. But
Ranking out of 10.
Sucks because the articulate or the deco, the accessories, they're like a 10. You know, but with the articulation, yes, I think he's like an 8. He's like an 8, maybe 8.5. Some of the play value is really good. The magnets are really nice. I'd say he's like, yeah, he's like an 8. He's like an 8. But I haven't given up on Mondo. I think seeing these improvements kind of makes me say, all right, well, now maybe I'll get, you know, the maybe some of the Batman animated stuff or the you know, the X-Men animated stuff. Again, I'm just like, this stuff like this bothers me a lot. The redundancy. Why have that and that? That's why you could have just done double elbows. Instead of having 2 turning joints here, it's just redundant. But I want an arm that goes past 90 degrees on a 12-inch figure. I really do. But man, those heads, whoo, those heads are nice. Yeah, that robot head is really, really good. Really good. I love that like the wires are sculpted like a separate like part that they glue in there. Those are nice. Yeah, good stuff. Almost there, guys. Almost there.